Since the release of Star Wars: A New Hope in 1977, fans have wondered why the saga started with Episode 4. After all, if it's a story in chronological order, wouldn't it make more sense to start with Episode 1? The answer, actually, lies in the vision of its creator, George Lucas. Lucas always had the idea of telling the story of Star Wars in 9 episodes, but he knew he wouldn't have the opportunity to produce them all at once. So, he decided to start with Episode 4 as a sort of a middle ground, allowing viewers to enter the story without needing a detailed introduction to the universe. Additionally, Lucas wanted the film to have a feeling of being thrown into the middle of the action, rather than starting with a slow presentation of the characters and universe setup. He wanted viewers to be immediately captivated by the story and characters, without having to go through an extended introduction. Another reason Lucas chose to start with Episode 4 was so that he could focus on the main characters, Luke Skywalker, Leia Organa, and Han Solo, without the distraction of introducing too many other characters. This allowed the audience to become invested in these characters from the beginning and care about what would happen to them. At the same time, Lucas also knew that Episode 4 could be a standalone film, not depending on the success of a sequel. He wanted the first film to be able to stand on its own, in case there was no opportunity to make a continuation. Another factor to consider is that Episode 4 was released at a time when science fiction films were not very popular. So, starting with Episode 4 allowed Lucas to present the story of Star Wars in a more accessible and appealing way to the general audience. Finally, Lucas also had the opportunity to revisit the story of Star Wars and make significant changes to the original films when the saga was re-released in theaters in 1997. These changes included additions of scenes, enhanced special effects, and small changes to the story. By starting with Episode 4, Lucas left room for these revisions and changes to the story over time. In summary, George Lucas chose to start the Star Wars saga with Episode 4 for several reasons: to allow viewers to enter the story without a detailed introduction, create a sense of immediate immersion in the action, focus on the main characters, and ensure that the first film could stand on its own. Additionally, starting with Episode 4 allowed Lucas to present the story of Star Wars in a more accessible and appealing way to the general audience and left room for revisions and changes to the story over time.